yes, and we're back inside. I seen PNM people jumping on and attacking the little girl who is Trinidad and Tobago's representative at Miss World. The young lady said that she's created her charity to help poor children in Trinidad and Tobago because we have thousands of children who are living in poverty, do not have food to eat, sleeping on cold floors and so on.
Yes.
And I have read some of the most asinine, ill-informed, uninformed comments attacking the young lady. Let me give you all some facts of Trinidad and Tobago, for those of you who live in your own little bubble and do not know what is really out there. You all like to talk and attack politicians, but as a politician, I have the privilege to have walked and visited and talked in every nook and cranny of Trinidad. Do you all know how they calculated the poverty line in Trinidad and Tobago back then? They calculated it at $100 per month, which is $665 per month back then. 190,000 people living on $665 a month, 30 days. Many of y'all will not recall, but when I was on Radio Power 102.1 FM with the greatest sprung along Dennis Hall, I challenged that statistic because it was my belief that that line was not the poverty line, that was the misery line. Because at $665 for even one adult, and that figure included people who have to take care of dependents, 1 or 2 children, or a wife and 2 children, and so on. I went on, Corky.
Yes.
I tried, because I was on Gael TV doing Spork, and I was on radio every day with Spragalang from 4:20 to 7 p.m. The #1 radio talk show in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. We got 28% rating in talk radio, and we beat radio 96.1 on a Friday between 4 and 7. Spragalang and myself beat 96.1, 28% to 13%. That's why all now you see every morning show on Red 96.7, 96.1, 100.5, all of those have talk show. Them used to be just music, but now everybody have a little talk in between the music. That was because sprung along Dennis Hall and myself blow out everybody. So it changed the paradigm. But back then, I wanted to show the poverty in Trinidad and Tobago. And I said I'm going to try and survive on $1 more than the poverty line. So I took $666 and I said I'm going to survive as long as I can for this month with that.
What?
So no car, because your car buy no gas.
Yeah.
So I start off taking Maxi. Then that was too expensive. I take bus.
Right.
Then that got too expensive after about day 11 or 12. I start to walk anywhere I'm going, right?
Yes.
I did not include other things like deodorant and soap and things like that, razor blade.
Yeah.
I didn't include cable bill, electricity, water, nothing. All I said I'm going to use this $666 for is food and transport.
Right.
I buy rice and I eat just like sardine and corned beef and things. No, no fancy, nothing.
Yes.
With $666 spending on myself like that alone and walking. One day I walked from deep in Pity Valley to Abercrombie Street to the radio station.
So at that time you didn't have any family yet?
No, I have family, but I'm not counting that.
Oh, right. Good.
Right? I alone. Yes, I had family. I had 2 children, wife, but I'm not counting that. I take out. I myself go in and live as long for a month on this $666. Right? On day 17, I walked from Pity Valley, Palm Avenue, Pity Valley, straight down into Abercrombie Street
What?
88 to 90 Abercrombie Street, Port of Spain, Power 102. When I walk in the studio,
Yeah.
and I lost 16 pounds in 17 days, right?
Yes.
Sprang along, watch me, and he don't cuss. But he buffed to the point of cuss.
Yes.
And tell me that I was an idiot and I have to stop. I'm going to kill myself to try and help out people and things. So I had to stop there.
Yeah.
He said that's enough. Because he watched me, he watched how I come in, and if you see that man face, sprang along, buff me for about an hour on the radio. And say, enough, you make your point.
Yes.
So I say that to you all to say, at that time, 190,000 citizens are living at that point or below.
What?
Kamala Prasad Bisesa came in with Glenn Ramadan Singh and created the Ministry of the People. And she dropped that figure from 19.7% down to 16.7%.
Right.
Still a very high figure. That meant 160,000 people still living at or below the poverty line.
Yes.
She increased food cards, for example, from 18,000 up to 42,000.
Yeah.
And Glenn Ramadan Singh had planned to take that up to 100,000.
Right.
Because the people needing was about 160,000. Then Rowley lied with small pen and email gate and so on, and the media played full, and Rowley became prime minister. And they reduced food card from 42,000 down to 18,000. Now they stop the food card.
Yes.
They stop all the assistance. They stop all the help. They shut down jobs. Before COVID-19,
Yes.
the poverty rate in Trinidad and Tobago under Keith Christopher Rowley went up from 16.7% in September 2015. By 2019, it went up to 23.8%.
What?
That is 230,000 people below the poverty line, which is now drawn due to the devaluation of the dollar, or the purchasing power, let me use the correct word, of the dollar and so on, inflation and so on. It's now written, it's up at about $875 per month. So before COVID, there were 240 odd thousand citizens living below the poverty line. Wow. Some of you all who are cussing and commenting and attacking the Miss World don't even know what I am saying. Because you all go to a restaurant and your bill is $800. And you pay that and you go home. And I no fancy restaurant, eh? That normal restaurant for 2-3 people, $800 all you spend, and all you're good. That is 240,000 adults' salary for the month.
Yes.
You see how it's not funny anymore? You see how the young lady, Miss World, was talking the truth? As an MP, I walk all over this country. If you read the Dr. Selwyn Ryan report on the most impoverished places, you would not believe how citizens are living. And it has become worse during COVID because there's no money, no jobs, no hustle, no about. And the PNM has cut all assistance, the food net, while they have taken all the money to spend on friend and family and recusal. So the poverty rate now is probably around 29.5%. And that don't include illegal immigrants, of which at least 150 to 200,000 are here across Trinidad and Tobago, especially in the Southwest Peninsula. Yeah. Those figures do not include illegal immigrants who are suffering and starving. And a young lady talks the truth and wants to help. And all your disgusting PNM sycophants start to attack the girl and say she embarrassing the country. So she embarrassing the country for talking the truth and going to try to help children who are impoverished. But Rowley and them who let me don't cuss now.
No.
Who mashing up the whole country by their policy, by the disgusting thievery, by the legalized thieving, by the 210 recusals. All you supporting that? All you supporting an attorney general who get $81 million for himself?
What?
You know what that $81 million could have done for these poor people? You all live in your own bubble. You drive your cars. Your children have laptop. You have cable. You have Netflix. You have air condition. You could buy your children toys. You go to swimming or dance class before COVID.
Yes.
You go to school. You go to the mall and you go to water park and movie town. Take your time and go and walk and see. Go and drive and see. Take a drive up the east-west corridor and go in some of the impoverished areas there. Take a drive down Naparima, Labre, Point Fortin, Barrackpore, Princestown, Carapo. Take a little drive
Yeah.
and see how our citizens live before you criticize Miss World. How dare y'all? You have no information. You have done no analysis. You have read no reports. You don't know what we stand on the human index. You don't know how we stand on the quality of life index. You don't know where we stand on the poverty rate. We don't know where we stand on child illiteracy. You don't know what the policies of the PNM have done to damage children for decades to come. And you attack a young lady who knows more than you. She is absolutely correct. There are not thousands. There are tens of thousands of children
Yes.
who do not have the ability to eat but one meal per 2 days.
Yes. Yes.
Who sleep on the floor. Who do not have electricity. Who do not have textbooks, laptops. Who have no opportunity. Some who are forced to work the fields and sell and hustle. Y'all attack the lady for talking the truth rather than attack the PNM for creating the problem. You people are sick. And on top of that, what sort of country are we that a young lady trying to represent the country, creating an NGO, speaks very clearly, wants to help, and we are a bunch of bullies, jump on our Facebook and attack, comment up. We are a bunch of mama pools. We have no chivalry, no class, no what is that? And all you're wrong. You all are wrong. The Miss World is correct. Right now the poverty rate is at 29%. That is 290,000 adults living on less than $900 a month, you people.
Sad.
When they talk about live sport and corruption, do you know in live sport for the first few months when we find fellas on the street, you have to pay them in cash, they have to sign, some of them can't sign, they have to make an X. Why? Because they have no ID card, no birth paper, no nothing. The only thing we know is that they're here.
Yes.
They're here and they're talking like me. So we know them is Trini. They have no bank account, no nothing. They can't get a bank account. Because to get a bank account, you need ID, you need a WhatsApp bill, you need all kind of thing. Y'all don't even know that. That was 2,378 young black boys. That was just for boys.
Wow.
So before y'all talk, take a drive in areas that you don't normally traverse. Go and see the poverty. When you're a member of parliament, you have to walk and talk and see and feel the pain. See the children. So Miss World Trinidad and Tobago was absolutely 100% correct. And rather than y'all tell sponsors, corporate people, the government to help her NGO,
Yes.
to be another NGO to help, because there are many, go and spend some time in Serval and Living Waters. Go and talk to those people and let them tell you about the poverty that they see. Don't jump on Facebook and attack a little girl. All you bunch of bullies, a bunch of mama pools. And you're wrong. You're wrong. So our Miss World is very correct. She's not attacking her country. She's not disrespecting her country. She's talking the truth and wanting to solve problems, not burying her head in the sand. She's absolutely correct. The poverty rate in Trinidad and Tobago calculated at about $865 per month. Before COVID stood at 23.8%. During the last 24 months of mismanagement of COVID and the lack of opportunities, job loss, food price inflation, the poverty rate, more people have slipped under there. The removal of the food card support, the school feeding program dropping from under Kamala and Tim Gopi Singh at 76,000 meals, breakfast and lunches per day, down to 48,000 pre-COVID under the PNM, then down to 20,000, leaving children, 28,000 children without food. You know, all of these children depend on that school feeding program to get a nutritious meal for at least 5 days for the week. Y'all do not even know what's going on in your country, you ignorant human beings. And it amazes me that people without information could be so strong and opinionated. Imagine you have a strong opinion and you know nothing. That is a kind of a sad state of affairs. You do no research, you read nothing, you go and see nothing. You live in your little bubble and you feel you're so confident to attack Miss World without information. What kind of people are we? Something wrong with we.